Alright, now we're going to take and finish out the rest of these primitives. I have this low res cage bolt, and I'm just going to make it so it's long enough. To encompass that bolt. Then I'm going to help it out a little bit by taking these vertices, shrinking them down, and lengthening them out so it fits right down in there. Then I got to have a little bit more right here, so I'm going to insert a new edge loop. I need to do this on my low res, not my other one, so I'm going to template that out. Okay, this is really hard to see, so there we go. That might be a little bit better for you. So I should be able to go like this to hide it. Yep, cool. So I'm sitting here inserting an edge loop, and this is to represent the bolt. A normal map only works so much. We have to support it somehow with a little bit of material, or it just starts looking really fake. You know, normal maps are already fake as it is, but we want something to cast shadows, and this is why we put geometry in these areas. Nowadays we don't have to rely so much on normal mapping for everything. We can get by with normal mapping to lower the polygon count, but we don't have to have a normal map for every molecule. Shift D, duplicate this part over. There we go. We have now something to represent those bolts. I'm going to take these bolts and I'm going to take everything and go normals, soften edge. That will round those up quite well. Alright, now this thing is not being represented at all. So how do we get that? Well, we're turning this into a game asset. So the use of polygons and tries in polygons is totally legit. I need the lowest polygon count I can. And since it's going in-game and not being sculpted on, we can use triangles. So in this case, I'm going to split polygon tool. Split it here. G on the keyboard. There we go. G on the keyboard's last command. So I can just quickly go right back into the tool. Do that again. Okay, now that we have a triangle in that area, I can move this shell out and delete the back side of this. So this is that giant blue box. I just need it gone, and I need the face gone here. There we go. And since we have back face culling on, you can see right through the mesh. Again, that's right here. You should probably keep that on at all times when modeling game geometry, because that way you can see if you have some issues with backface. Alright, I see that something got deleted I didn't want to, so I'm going to undo that just a couple. There we go. What I didn't want to get deleted is this. So let me drag this out. So I need a bar that goes across here. I'm just going to insert edge loop tool and insert an edge loop here. And then again take my split polygon tool, click drag, G on the keyboard, click drag, G on the keyboard. To straighten this line out, all I do is have to grab the vertices, make sure none of the other vertices are in there, so I can hold Control to deselect vertices, and I can grab the scale tool and scale these negative. That will flatten the area out and straighten it up. Okay, so now I can grab this in object mode, hopefully. Okay, it's being fickle about object mode. Try that. Haha. So here's another way to get to object mode. If it starts acting this way, I probably have history being built up. So I'm just going to put this right back here. Line it up. Make sure all these vertices are in an area that's supposed to be, so just below that. Okay, then I can delete the faces on the back. There we go. And now I can bring this shape back up with its face gone. Just like that. And I'm just going to line this up so it lines all the way up. Here we go. Good. Alright, now I'm going to toggle this so it's not visible. That way I can go in here and start sewing these together. These two shapes can be one shape. And that way the normal map will carry off to the side here onto that geometry. Again, that geometry being this stuff right here. So mesh, combine. And then I'm just going to take a couple seconds to merge edge tool. Shading, wireframe on shaded so you can see the edges. And I'm just clicking and dragging, or clicking 3 times. Okay, this one's going to have a little bit hard time joining because there is no edge here to join to. See, there's an edge here, but there's no edge going across. So I'm going to have to insert edge. Just like that. And insert an edge here. That way I can join those. Edit mesh, merge edge tool, triple click, and again come up here, triple click. You don't have to do the last edge because it automatically closes. So there's our low poly frame. That is very low. So what are we up to now? 325 faces. So that's not too bad. We still have the handle to represent, so we're going to start doing that. We have to unwrite protect this and start chopping away at it a little bit. These faces right here need to go away. They're not being represented in the normal map, and they go into the mesh and get hid. So what I'm going to do is try to eliminate them. Now, unfortunately, this is going to be a really rough job as the way it is now. So I'm going to control right click to shell and drag the piece over here, kind of memorizing how far it goes in. Then I'll take the faces and delete them. Again, vertice to shell. Control right click. Then I'm going to put it right back in there. So now it's not sticking out so much. These pieces right here would be a hard thing to normal map out, so I'm going to ignore them altogether. I will put them back at the end. Control right click to shell and just move them off to the side. I don't need to normal map those. This thing I do. So let's build a box. Start building a low poly frame for it. Okay, I like to just think about the whole part in general. Try to get that whole part in there. And then go like this to it so I can start seeing what edge loops I need to put in. Alright, I'll need the following edge loops. Insert an edge here, down the center. Here, 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 and here. Alright, so let's start squeezing these together. Grab all the vertices here, scale them in with the green. Put them there. Grab these. So I'm just scaling these in green or yellow now that I've highlighted it once. But it's actually in the y-axis. I'm scaling these. Okay, again, there's only so much that my normal map can take. So I'm going to insert an edge loop here. And insert an edge loop here. And one right here. Okay, so there's my locate shell for that. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. I might make it a little bit thicker. I'll make it thicker here, and then I'll make it thinner down here. And if I need one more edge loop in here to make it thin in an area, I better do that. There we go. Low cage shell. So this shade's better. I'm going to insert an edge here. So now what are we up to? So we're up to 147 faces. That's not bad at all. I miscounted last time. Okay, this has got to be a little bit further onto it. So I'm going to grab these two now faces that are combined and move it out. So about right there. Will that hurt anything else? No. We'll reduce these later. Because really, I don't need, this edge or a couple edges in there. So we'll reduce those later. In the next video, we got to build some UVs for our low poly representative of this. Okay, so let's move on to that video.